In the exam room, a girl suddenly discovered something terrifying. The test questions in front of her were identical to the practice exam. She couldn't believe it, and rubbed her eyes in disbelief. Only after turning around to double-check did she dare to believe this wasn't a hallucination. She immediately shared this news with Lisa, who was sitting behind her. But strangely, Lisa still couldn't answer the questions. Just then, a chalkboard eraser came flying their way. Clearly their conversation had been spotted by the proctor. To help Lisa pass the exam, Lucy finished all the questions in just 1 minute. When the teacher wasn't looking, she quickly switched from pencil to pen and wrote the answers directly on the chalkboard eraser. After turning around to signal to Lisa that the answers were inside the eraser, she took off her left shoe and tossed the eraser into it. Lisa held her breath nervously. Suddenly, they noticed the proctor's gaze and were scared out of their wits, but it turned out the teacher had just yawned. The two had barely caught their breath when something worse happened. Lisa pulled off her right shoe too forcefully, and it flew straight into the aisle. At this critical moment, Lucy grabbed her test paper and walked straight to the front desk. Facing the teacher's confused look, she deliberately asked a childish question like, "Do we need to write our names on the scratch paper?" While the teacher was busy complaining, "Have you never taken a test before?" she used her body to block the view. Lisa finally retrieved the answers. When she saw the perfect score on her report card, Lisa excitedly invited Lucy to go swimming, not knowing this gesture would completely change Lucy's fate. That evening, Lisa introduced Lucy to her rich boyfriend. It turned out that after learning about Lucy's cheating skills, the boyfriend offered to pay $3,000 per exam and promised to introduce more wealthy clients. This way, Lucy could earn enough for a full year's tuition from just one test. Coming from a poor background, Lucy was immediately tempted. The next day, she gathered the rich kids for special training. This time, she refined her cheating method, using piano fingering to represent answers. Not only was it faster to recognize, but it was also more discreet. On the day of the final exam, Lucy's changing fingers moved like she was performing a concerto, and the rich kids knowingly wrote down the answers. Sure enough, everyone achieved their desired grades. Lucy's reputation skyrocketed from then on, with clients seeking her out constantly. But something terrible happened. During the next major exam, the rich kids waited as usual for Lucy to transmit the answers, but her face suddenly turned pale. It turned out the school had implemented an A/B test system to prevent cheating. The two test versions had completely different questions. Lucy panicked instantly. She only had answers for one version of the test. But just then, she discovered something strange.